Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind. But please realize you'll probably be surprised.
You must take this stone to the paladin at Sunghill. I'm too old to make the journey.
The goddess will not let me die. Find help.
I think I'm ready for some more spells.
Magic is not an art of faith, but of understanding. Nothing is safe here anymore. There's too many eyes, too much lust for power. I've stayed too long.
Take me with you.
There's an inn. It's just outside of town. You'll find the experience that you lack there, and someone will be in need of a conjurer.
Orcs raided my temple 2 nights past, and my people were slain or taken by foul beasts. I seek heroes to win their freedom.
There's the door. I suggest you use it.
Wait! You need help. I require seasoned adventurers. Heroes, even. Not young girls.
I have a team. I need a swordsman.
Name Stain.
We need a thief. We're here to make you an offer.
A drunkard, a thief, and a little girl.
Good friends aren't so hard to find.
Where are the others?
We're going to rescue them. I spotted the ogre trail not far from here. It's just over that ridge.
They'll catch you and they'll brand you as a runaway.
Nothing has changed. My promise is good.
This mission is suicide.
I will find you!
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you a movie or movie reviews of Mythica, A Quest for Heroes, as well as Mythica, The Darkspore.
You've peered into the darkness. I just peered back.
I had a dream.
Behold the Darkspore.
A figure. He knew me.
The Darkspore is all it stands against, Zorlok. But if those shards ever get put together, there'll be no way to stop him.
What does this have to do with me? Limitless power, death, destruction. I need to stop him.
Your darkness is something he seeks. You're a necromancer.
Who are you, Merrick? Why do you seek such dark magic? You race a Golgoshan with yellow eyes who commands a horde of orcs. I can control it. Just tell them the truth. I can control it!
Release it!
There's something drawing me towards it. I could destroy us all.
That is a lie invented by the gods. No one's fate is written.
You have no power over the darkness inside you. It calls you, and in time, it will claim you. It is your fate.
He's found you.
You are mine.
Evil runs the blood of all men.
And, you know, it's not often where I review 2 movies in one video. It's definitely not advisable. You know, but I watched Mythica, A Quest for Heroes some time ago, at least a few weeks ago or something like that, and you know, I just got caught up in a bunch of other stuff, and I have a full-time job, so I unfortunately sort of missed the window to review that on its own. But I just watched the first sequel in the series, the Darkspore, tonight, so I thought it would make sense to you know, sort of address them both in this video as I keep watching the series, and it would have bothered me if I never reviewed the first one. So, but yeah, Mythica, if you guys don't know what that is, you know, it's pretty much a series of, you know, I'll say, you know, fairly, you know, low budget, you know, fantasy adventure films. They're made by a studio, or a company, excuse me, called Arrowstorm Entertainment. And, you know, Kevin Sorbo is a big name that they market, or that they promote in these films. You know, but he has more of a sort of like a reoccurring, you know, guest role, you know, throughout the series from what I've seen so far. A key role, mind you, but it's really not about him. You know, he's just, you know, kind of the recognized name, you know, in the films, of course, you know, being Hercules and all his other work. But, you know, it's not about him. It's about Melanie Stone, who plays this girl named Merrick. You know, we see her at the start of Quest for Heroes. You know, she's a slave girl, but, you know, she aspires for more. And she's sort of under, you know, Kevin Sorbo's character's, you know, guidance and, you know, mentorship and stuff like that. But really, these films are about, you know, her finding her destiny and her quest. And there seems to be like this darkness or growing power in her, and she has to, you know, follow, you know, certain paths to see where that leads her. And along the way, you know, she has to, you know, round up the others that travel with her, which include a, you know, thief played by, you know, Jake Stormoen. I know I'm probably butchering his name, but the same company, by the way, Arrowstorm, they've also, you know, worked on The Outpost, which is a series on CW going right now, and Jake is also on that as one of the leads. Then you have Thane played by Adam Johnson, and then you also have Nicola Posener played by, playing Tila, you know, who's a healer. And Thane, by the way, he's sort of like a washed up, you know, warrior brawler type of guy. And you know, there's these you know, orcs and, you know, necromancers, you know, trying to collect these stones throughout the films. And you know, I'm not going to be able to talk about every you know, single plot point, because they do end up, you know, laying it on a little bit thicker, especially in the second film, the Darkspore, with its mythology and what's exactly going on. You know, but I still want to briefly explain to you, you know, the premise there anyway. And you know, these kinds of films, you kind of got to take them for what they are, I guess, you know, given their budget and everything like that. And you know, I'm not saying you know, they're the highest quality things either. You know, besides that, you know, it's not like maybe not necessarily, you know, the greatest acting you'll ever see, or like the most well-written script you've ever, you know, witnessed. But you know, really, I know there's gonna be people that go into these films, and there's gonna be people that even just watch like a part of the first one, they'll just, you know, write it off because they'll think it's, you know, trash, or it's you know, just nothing of value. But me personally, you know, just one night I was in the mood for, you know, a fantasy adventure, and you know, scrolling through some typical choices, but I came across this. And you know, I too was a bit hesitant because, you know, like I said, it's very apparent at the you know, low budget it has. You know, they do try with the sets and, you know, the costume design and stuff like that. I think there's a little bit of effort there. But you know, no, like I said, the only name, you know, the typical person will know is Kevin Sorbo. And like I said, you know, I was almost, you know, put off by it at first, but that's when Melanie Stone came on the screen and started talking, and I gotta admit I was pretty taken by her. Um, I find her really enjoyable and really likable as our lead, Merrick, and she's definitely what made me want to watch the first film and the second, and what's probably going to make me watch the other three in the series. Because we have the Necromancer after this, and 4 is, I think, the Iron Crown, and then the final film they did is the Godslayer. And I sort of like just how, like, little by little they're sort of building her up, and building up her story. And I just think she's really cute, charming, but really endearing, and deceivingly strong character. And I actually think it's kind of portrayed well, because there's some cool moments where this power in her comes out, and for as much as they have, the fact of the design of it anyway is, kind of cool. You get like an immediate change in atmosphere when she does what she's doing, but at the same time it drains, the life force from those around her, and it's, ends up drawing in worse oncoming threats that await her in her history. So yeah, it's actually fairly intriguing. As far as the rest of the actors in the movie, they're all fine. Again, maybe not the best. Although I think Melanie Stone is actually a pretty good lead for these movies. But a lot of it is wooden for me, besides her. But what made it is that whoever they got these actors from, they actually have fairly good chemistry together, and I enjoyed watching these characters as a group. Some of their back and forths are quite humorous, and I don't think it's it's that hard to watch. Most of the movies are an hour and a half to an hour and 45. Although I think the final film's a little bit longer than that, a little over 2 hours or something. I know some people also be put off by the CGI effects that are in these films. The first two. I'll get more specific into the movies when I review the third one on its own. But I just sort of wanted to get my general thoughts out there on the first two. Like there's this ogre in the first film, and very obvious CG, not very good. It's one of those where they, when the ogre strikes, if he hits someone, they kind of have to edit it separately or cut it a little bit, because it's not good enough to actually show the impact of it as well as I'm sure they'd want. But, again, it is what it is. You can't, stand their back too much, just, for the money they had. Apparently someone really wanted to, make these films. And they're all written and directed by the same person as far as I see. So apparently they're pretty into working on this stuff. And, I think that's something to be understood and appreciated as well. Now, as far as which movie do I like better, the first film, A Quest for Heroes, or the first sequel, the Darkspore? At first, I was thinking of the first film, because there's this charm and sort of this fun to be had with A Quest for Heroes. I don't think was quite as present in the second film. It's still there, mind you, but I feel like there's a little less energy to it in certain parts. But what ended up making the second film to me as successful, or as enjoyable as it still was I think they improved a little bit on some of the fight scenes, because there's the main fight scene at the end of the movie against this little this group of orcs. It's probably one of the more well shot parts of it, I guess, especially when Merrick, she ends up almost giving in to her dark side again, but she remembers her, and there's this elf character in the second film as well, and she and the elf, they sort of have like a romance or an interest with each other. He was an alright character, but I don't think it was really needed. Basically saying, of course, she doesn't have to be what this destiny is supposedly telling her. There's always another way. So she chooses, to not embrace that at that moment, and uses this the magical object, this wand instead. But it's going to be an ongoing thing, and I'm sure she'll let it out at some point under certain extreme circumstances. And at the same time, you know, there also feels like there's a bit of a degree of plot armor to, you know, our main group here. Like, I feel like at least like one of them should be dead by now, but who knows. They did change the effect or the look of it, her face, you know, when she lets her power out in the second film. I sort of like how it looked in the first one. Unless they keep changing it, then they can sort of think of it as like a developing thing, or as she like evolves and embraces more of her power or doesn't. I guess we'll just have to see what's like in the third one. So that sequence there, and with the dragon and you know, blasting with the wand and stuff like that after that, you know, it was actually entertaining. I think it was probably better than any action or fight sequence we got in the first film. And at the same time, another little criticism I have so far is Merrick's power and, you know, how formidable she is. She's, you know, very powerful. We can see that in certain scenes. But at the same time, it feels like it only happens when it's convenient for the story, when they want to have it reach a climax, or when they want to have her, you know, be able to do this. But then all of a sudden, you know, she can capture and sort of just like held back and stuff like that. So it's kind of odd. At the same time, sometimes she can physically handle herself and, you know, actually fight alongside the others, which is really cool. But again, she ends up getting, you know, captured, or, you know, something happens to the others. I don't know. So I kind of wish they'd get a little more consistent with that. But I know they have to have, you know, conflict in the story and everything like that. But sometimes it feels a little convenient. But yeah, overall, I still do really enjoy these films. I think there's fun to be had if you can sort of just accept, you know, what they had to work with. Like I said, I think Melanie Stone is really charming as Merrick, and I think she's actually a character I really enjoyed and actually really like following. And I'm going to keep following and see the progression of her story, because I do like, again, how they're sort of slowly building up her and whoever she ends up being. But yeah. And I also guess I don't really care for her and Dagon or Jake Strumman's, you know, sort of relationship too much. It's been a little bit back and forth, and it bugs me a little bit. It's one of those things, again, I don't think it's overly necessary, but they don't really throw it in your face too much. But yeah. So overall, I guess the Darkspore actually improved on the first film a little bit, but I think the first film was actually still really, really fun. So I'm giving the Quest for Heroes, the first film, giving it about a C+, and the second film, the Darkspore, I think I'm giving it about a C+, B-. So a little bit of a improvement in the range there, excuse me. But yeah, and again, these films, I'm sure some people will say that, you know, I overrated them, or how would I rate them that high. I don't know, I have an open mind, and I just, you know, I just enjoy them for what they are and how they're made, and yeah, I do think there's some redeeming things here, despite its budget. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about these films if you've seen them, and I will be watching a third film, The Necromancer, eventually, and I will give a more focused review of that when the time comes. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, hit like. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.